joining me is my friend Camera. She is the camera. And if the sound's a little terrible on this, it's because it's the pilot episode. So essentially, on July 30th, the TPC initiated some changes, and very minor ones, honestly, but it's the pilot episode, it's better if we start off small. So today we're going to go to Coxwell Station, where we're going to take the 31 Greenwood, which has been newly extended over to Coxwell Queen Loop, I think. And then from there we're going to have a little piece of camera, and then we're going to talk about all the other changes, and then we're going to, head home. So look forward to that. Oh, look at the bridge. Like obligatory footage, right?
This is amazing. Do you know most modern pop songs have cut the bridge out? That just reminded me of this bridge.
You know, that's really sad.
I agree. Bridges are like my favorite part of the song.
Yeah. Hold on. Hey girl, can I see that broad view? I'm gonna get canceled on like episode 1. I really like the colors of Chester, like the blue and the green.
Reminds me of those like Hershey ice cream bars. I just want to take a bite out of the wall.
Okay, so basically, Greenwood over here is where we would normally get off, but the 31 Greenwood, which we're going to, isn't stopping here right now because the bus terminal is currently under construction, I believe, for elevator stuff. So we're going to Coxwell, which is the next station. This is Coxwell. Here we go. So, this is the bus we're taking right over here. Okay, so we're here on the 31 Greenwood, and basically, it's been altered a little bit because as actually a couple months ago, there was a big streetcar diversion, and this route and a couple others were modified to compensate. This one, however, the 31, they are keeping it in this construction diversion basically indefinitely. So, pretty much the route operates as normal from Coxwell down to Queen, as it normally does, but the 31A and 31B branches have been discontinued, and basically all buses on the route now operate south to Eastern Avenue, and then now operate on Eastern Avenue all the way over to Kingston Road and Queen, which is where the 22 currently ends. Hey guys, it's voiceover Wilkie, and in this part I am being very unclear because I'm nervous to be on camera. Basically, I'm trying to say that the reason this extension was made permanent was probably because Eastern Avenue is in desperate need of bus service, because the proposed 150 Eastern route still hasn't been put into service yet. For the time being, this bus is one of these few buses you can actually use on Eastern Avenue. When the 150 Eastern does go into service, I wouldn't doubt that the 31 maybe jogged around a little, or maybe just keep the same route that it currently does, but, we'll see. So just over there is Greenwood Station, which is currently closed. 31 Greenwood as a bus route has existed since, I believe, 1966. Service originally operated from Greenwood Station, west of Strathmore, and then south on Greenwood all the way down to Queen. And eventually, I think it was an evening-only service in operation on this large off-street loop down there. And the route sort of operated that for decades. The biggest change was the buses now operating on Danforth instead of Strathmore, which was made in the 70s or 80s. There's also the 31A seasonal extension for a year, but So pretty much this is the biggest change to the 31 Greenwood in decades. So before this, the route operated sometimes buses would go to Queen Street only, sometimes buses would be extended to Eastern. Really weird hours, definitely confusing. Now, it's a lot simpler because they all just go straight through on Eastern and go to Queen and Kingston Road. And there's probably going to be a couple maps and diagrams popping up, so I don't just look like an idiot, but Anyways, yeah. Most of this is probably going to be cut anyway, so So right over here, this road was where the 31 used to loop over there, and now it does not. Oh, look at these houses. So basically, right now we are on Eastern Avenue, but this part was used as the looping of the 31, again, right until a couple months ago, so Just to emphasize how short this is, like all the way up over there is where Eastern Avenue like turns into Kingston Road, and this bus ends. And it's definitely a short extension, but honestly, I think it's worth it. You can see like Lower Coxwell and all this stuff, which has never had service before now, except for like the 143. But you know that nobody cares about 143. Okay, so I'm not that familiar with the specific way the 31 navigates this place, but we just turned off Eastern, so maybe we're being extended to Queen Coxwell Loop and not Queen Kingston Road, which is certainly interesting. Like, I raised the point because the GPC map of the 31 Greenwood does not show this, so we are laying over here. Okay, let's leave. Bus. That's the 22.
I'm feeling 22.
There's a lot of streetcar construction right now, as you may know, and July 30th also coincided with a lot of, or not a lot of, but a decent amount of changes here in the East End. Most of it has to do with Kingston Road. So the 503, the Kingston Road streetcar, is one of the only streetcar lines which did not operate at all times, like, well, in the past. And pretty much, due to all the streetcar construction, Kingston Road, especially the area between Victoria Park and here on Queen Street, was very, very, like, inconsistently served with like an extension to the 505 and a bunch of other crap which never really worked.
Yeah.
So what they ended up doing is turning the 503 into a bus temporarily, running from, of course, Bingham Loop all the way down to downtown. And so you can see a 503 right over there.
I kind of want to talk about how, like, this doesn't happen on every single bus, but do you ever just have like a driver that gets off the bus and just like sits there on his phone for like 5 minutes and you're just waiting on the bus? He just like gets off and gets changed or something.
That's a thing. This is another explanation that was butchered by me being on the spot. Essentially, buses lay over at the ends of their routes to get on a schedule, because the way buses are scheduled means that at either or both ends of the line, the buses wait around for like 5 minutes before heading back to be on time, or it's just the way the route is scheduled. You know. You see the 503 over there. Okay. There's a historical plaque here. It's in front of this very pretty building. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but you know.
Murphy's Law, I like that.
Yeah. That's our bus over there. Yeah, so as far as I know, the routing for it is the bus stops over there at Coxwell and then loops east on Queen and then back on Eastern, I think, opposed to being extended to the streetcar loop that we are about to get to right over there. Okay, just real quick, this is 4401. I think this is one of the prototype streetcars. Okay, it's very clearly like flickering, so I don't know how easy it is to tell, but that's the 505 and that's the 506. Both of them end here now, and I believe only things east of here are the 501, which still operates like normal, and the 503 bus. Now it's time to talk about what else has changed. Basically, the streetcars, aside from the stuff down here, the 506C shuttle bus has been down doing that, pretty much. I don't keep up with the shuttle buses, but if you're interested, just look at that. You'll probably see that. The 506 is not operating along Howard Park Avenue to Hyde Park anymore. It's currently just going to end at Dundas West Station because there's track rehabilitation at Howard Park. There's not a shuttle bus for this, so be careful out there. This, of course, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, so I'll cut this up differently. But the 22 Coxwell was discontinued for like months, which is actually why the 31 Greenwood was extended all the way down here in the first place. So basically they brought it back, of course, because the construction is finished. And it's operating again now, except the 22A is no longer operating and is now, well, all service is now just 22B. And the 22A is replaced with a 503 shuttle bus. Most of this stuff is just unchanged. sometimes a route might be running slightly differently. I believe, like, well, this map's from March last year, so it's not accurate, but they changed the way the 36 shows its branches, but I believe specifically what they did was make the 36A run between Finch and Finch West only, and the 36B run between Humberwood and Finch West Station with the DNF unchanged. The evening and weekend, like, Humberwood to Finch Station thing, I'm not sure what that's displayed as, but yeah, that's what they did. The 79B is now going to operate Saturday mornings and Sunday afternoons, and I think that's it, actually.
Cut.
Okay, so one more thing I forgot. With these new service changes, the subway now runs frequently at late nights, so they'll now have like every 5 minutes instead of every 8 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, one time I saw like the operator ID up there was like 007.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like James Bond. Oh yeah. You were there with me, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
They probably got back on.
They call him. Oh yeah, it was the 83 Jones. Yeah. They call him Jones Bond. Look at that 22 Coxwell just over there. Okay, I don't know how well it came off on camera, but it did not have a letter next to its name, which does make me think that like they just fully discontinued like 22A and 22B, and all buses just now go to Queen Kingston Road. I think Coxwell wins for like the funniest station name on the PTC. I'm just filming your shoulders, sorry, I'm not good at this. I'm too busy looking at you in the face, in the eyes, rather than like looking where the camera's pointed.
It's a very funny coincidence because I'm actually a shoulder model.
Oh my god.
In my free time.
You know, there used to be streetcar tracks on this part of Coxwell. They did a plan to see like what TTC routes they could like turn into streetcars if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And they found that this one, I believe it was this one, was the easiest to turn into a streetcar route. But they eventually decided that like it was not worth the money because like the bus isn't like that crowded. So yeah.
Do you prefer buses or streetcars?
Well, streetcars, I do. I'm a bus fan by association, you know? I prefer, like, the train. I mean, buses are cool, but, like, I know where my heart's at. So if I'm right, that's the old TTC barns for streetcar and bus garage from over here. This is the bus we got here on. We're back at Coxwell, by the way.
So apparently transfers can't be used for the subway at all. They're only used for like surface vehicles.
Yeah, she didn't know this.
Because I was stopped one day by flashing this guy my transfer, and it says not valid for re-entry into the subway system.
Yeah.
So you have to.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but you know. It's loud. Give me a sec. Today was a pilot episode, so if you liked it, then say you liked it and give me some feedback, and subscription would be also appreciated. And yeah.